broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey, konnichiwa, and welcome everybody to Sailor Moon Crystal, episode 8.
Yep.
We are a couple of sailors down today. Kia and Kiori couldn't be here, but we've got the lovely Joyce to my right.
Hello. We're holding down the fort today, Dale.
That's right, we'll handle it. That's okay, we handled Disneyland yesterday, we can handle it with
We got this.
Sailor Moon, no problem. But welcome to coming back to the show. We start off this episode opening with finally Sailor V.
It's about time.
Good Lord, 8 episodes deep.
Yeah.
Every other week. We've waited 7 years now.
Yep.
I think I did that math right. 7 years for her to come out. It's nice to finally have her. We had her at the end of the last episode, of course, but just for like a quick button. She kind of comes in and just dumps a lot of info.
She gives them so much gives us a lot of backstory too.
I mean, it was cool, but like, if you just meet somebody, usually there's a couple of courtesy things, how you doing today? None of that.
But I think it's good because it shows that she knows what's up. Mm-hmm. She knows, where this evil is, what they do, where they come from and everything.
Yeah.
And she's been a Sailor Guardian for
a
year longer than they have. So
yeah, and I mean they weren't even really sure that she existed. They just thought that she was a clever video game.
Yeah.
But she comes in, she's like, "Hey, I'm the princess of the Moon Kingdom, and I'm the successor to the legendary Silver Crystal. And by the way, I'm Princess Serenity."
Yep.
All in like 2 minutes.
I was like, what? Because I kind of forgot how things went down in the previous series.
Yeah, I mean it's been a long time
English dub,
since I watched that one, and I don't know if the plot line was really the same here for that particular.
I wouldn't be able to say. I can't recall.
I ain't even gonna try to remember because I don't. But anyways, so right around that time, Sailor Moon, her tiara changes into this new delightful tiara.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, and Tuxedo Mask is hanging out there, and he is just kind of upset. He kind of is like, "Oh, great, nice to meet you, whatevs, but I'm out of here because I did not save my girl."
I know, he felt really ashamed about that. Poor guy.
Yeah,
It's like, peace out, guys.
I mean, he does it pretty much every single time ever, so this one time it's okay if you didn't get it, and I have a feeling he'll be able to figure it out later in the episode.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So he's out of there, and then Sailor V pretty much reveals that she's been using the Sailor V game as a way to contact them.
Yeah.
So, Usagi's not crazy.
Nope, she's not. I love her moment of realization when she was like, oh my God, she has been talking to me through the game for so long.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't make that up.
Yeah.
One of the few things I didn't make up in my own head. That's great.
That's cool, though. It's a cool way to communicate with them.
Well, it was kind of funny because they always, especially this episode, I think they just go there a lot, and it's like their home base. They're always meeting up there or hanging out there. But I love that Luna's just like, let's put the disc in the video game.
Yeah.
Like, of course there's a DVD slot, or whatever. And it now triggers, the fortress underneath. It's
right.
Like, oh yeah, I just gotta left, right, up, down, A, B, start. And it opens up
Konami code of Sailor Moon.
Yes, exactly. Opens up that secret passage. So I don't know. It's pretty cool, and so I like that she's communicating without communicating.
Yeah.
Although it's pretty on the nose when she's like, Sailor Moon, do this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, come on, you should have known. So she basically was instructing everyone through that, and then what happens now? And we learn they kind of meet Artemis at that point as well. He was kind of hanging back, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, Artemis is here."
Yeah.
And they reveal that they had been doing this, like you said, long before these sailors had been doing it.
Yeah, she's been working solo in Tokyo for a while now, and I like this episode. I like meeting Sailor V, and I like seeing this I like seeing her in this light where she's kind of hesitant to be a part of the group because she's been doing this alone. It's kind of like, well, you know, I don't know if I want to join you guys right now. I'm kind of trusting myself to. This is what I got from it.
Yeah.
And I also read, and I didn't read this part of the manga either, but I read that in the manga, she kind of joins them almost immediately, which to me is not as realistic as the way they carried it out in this episode.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I am kind of glad that they changed a little bit. If it goes down like that in the manga, then it's kind of cool that she's like, I see what y'all are doing.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, she knows who they are, what they do, and I'm sure she realizes that they can do great things and help her out. But it's sort of that mentality where it's like, I've been taking care of things myself. I trust myself to carry out my mission and to do this, and to join a group which not only changed their dynamic, but change how she operates, which I don't think she was ready to do in the beginning of this episode.
Yeah. When you're used to flying solo, you don't just want to take on 4 extra people all of a sudden. But she basically realized, so it seems like her memory is totally fine. I mean, she realizes everything about the Dark Kingdom and kind of downloads them all in this information as well about the Dark Kingdom being this ominous shadow behind all the crimes in the city and how she wanted to figure it out. And she tells the sailors about the Dark Being, who controls the kingdom, who wants that legendary silver crystal. So the major plot point is kind of revealed. We knew it as an audience, but the Sailor Scouts were totally oblivious.
Like, this is a bigger deal than they could ever imagine.
Yeah, they're like, wait, it's not just jewelry stores that are turning people into zombies?
And it was kind of apparent, their outlook on this whole thing. To me, they seemed a little more mature in this episode.
Yeah.
Not just Sailor V, but the other 4 girls. They just seemed like, oh, okay, we really understand the seriousness of this situation, of this mission, of this silver crystal, and like, you know, everything that we don't know. It's scary to them, and I think they finally realized that this episode. It's not just, all right, I'm gonna cry and wish I could eat dessert all episode, and then
which they do a little.
They do a little, but they were a little more willing to help and a little more willing to kind of take on this conflict that they were facing.
Yeah, and also not knowing the depth of the problem. I mean, the fact that a whole world has been destroyed basically before, and now it's coming for Earth.
Yeah.
You know, so I think just hearing all the backstory, even though it was kind of an odd way to let the audience know, like, just all like, bap, 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 here you go.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's only 26 minutes or whatever per episode, so you gotta...
And I also think it's, you know, with the exception of me, sometimes they have to assume that everyone has already seen the older series and everything. So they'll give you the right amount of information, the writers will, and it'll be just enough for the 20 minutes and for people who've already seen it. So I don't know. Yeah.
So basically, they talk about Queen. Is it Metalia? Metalia?
Metalia? I think so.
I think it's Metalia. I pronounce a lot of things wrong that are Japanese. About how they destroyed the Moon Kingdom, as we just talked about, aka the Silver Millennium, and took away happiness, which is pretty deep.
And they sealed her away, and then the seal broke. They broke the seal.
You know never to break the seal.
You never want to break the seal.
But one thing I didn't remember as well was Queen Beryl, and the way that her stance is during this episode is kind of cool, where she is kind of, she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get that crystal and hand it right over to you.
Yeah.
And then she's like, or maybe I'm just gonna keep it myself.
She's got ulterior motives.
Yeah, which is cool. I always love a sub-villainous plot of not working together. I don't know, there's something about bad but not as bad as you kind of storylines that I kind of dig. And I mean, she's got her own, she wants her own path, but she's not sure she wants to go that way.
Totally.
For the whole for the crystal. So she's gonna try and mess up the main plan of
make things interesting.
Yeah.
Interestinger and interestinger.
Lots of interestingers happening. So she's Queen Beryl, we learned, was the one that broke the seal. The Sailor Scouts don't know that yet. So we have her to blame for breaking that seal.
Man, that's all her doing.
Now she's gonna have to pee for the rest of the episode. So the seal on the memories looks like there's gonna be broken soon. But V has a very important mission, a VIM, I would call it.
VIM.
That only she could complete. And then what happens next here? It's Tuxedo Mask has a little bit more of his story, you know, and him trying to figure out, like, how he let himself down.
Yeah.
Basically, and just kind of a lot of brooding from him this episode.
It was sad to see him in this episode. I thought it was interesting that both him and Usagi were having kind of similar dreams, similar nightmares.
Mm-hmm. I mean, almost the same. From what I can tell, it looks like almost the same
like
dream.
Obviously, Usagi's is from her perspective, like her arm reaching out to, oh my gosh, I'm going to mispronounce the name.
It's fine. I'll do it again later.
Endymion?
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, so she's reaching out to him in her dream, and he's watching her kind of float away in his dream.
Yeah. And what's the weird thing now is that she thinks that she's dreaming about Sailor V.
Right, because she can't see that it's her arm reaching out.
Yeah. And they do, I guess,
maybe
look a little similar, I suppose. I guess you could convince yourself, like, I saw blonde hair. I guess it could be her.
Yeah.
But, so she is definitely having a mild identity crisis with the dream situation, but she totally just buys into it and is like, oh, okay, I've been dreaming of her, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I guess I used to know her. She still doesn't know.
I mean,
exactly,
they've had flashbacks this entire time, so it could be anything related to those.
Yeah. But he was so funny that he was so scholarly in the park, just with his little glasses, reading a book, and
it's like, oh, hello.
Oh, hello there. I don't think I can protect you.
Aw.
It's funny that he was beating himself up when literally he saved her. This is episode, what do we say, 8?
Yeah.
And he saved her probably 7 out of the 8 episodes, and then just this one time he's so upset with himself.
I thought this encounter between the two of them was really sweet this time around.
It was.
It was so sweet and so coy. Like, she was definitely a young high school student or a young 13, 14-year-old. So they were just really cute in their interactions, and he was really sorry and ashamed, and she was embarrassed to think that she left something with him that she can't remember what it would be.
Yeah.
But I thought it was sweet how he was like, despite how I feel, I'm going to promise that I'm going to see you again and we're going to trade items.
Which is so adorable.
It was really cute.
It's a nice way to, I don't know, leave a mystery but also have another arrangement to hang out again.
It's like a little unofficial plan.
Yeah. He's being pretty coy. I like it. So Luna at that point, she's kind of like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? Is this even okay?
Yeah, she seemed really skeptical of this entire episode.
Yeah. I mean, she's always been questioning who Tuxedo Mask was. Like, is he working for the enemy, or what exactly is going on with him? But I don't see I don't know. I mean, I guess she's just wary of everyone. Yeah. But it's just, he hasn't done anything. He's just always there, but he's always saving Usagi. So why is that? Because
he's always, he's looking for the silver crystal. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, why does he need it? What is his motivation to have it? To I mean, they don't know that he's trying to figure himself out, except for Sailor Moon. So. Yeah. She knows now. Was that last episode that she learned? I think so. His reasoning, because that's when he found her and took her home. That was the last episode. Yeah. Okay. So she's kind of like, I don't know if they should be falling for each other. I think I might have messed up. Like, I didn't realize this had gotten so deep already. So she's a little tortured soul for this particular moment. But. And now Artemis is back in her life. And I mean, who knows how Artemis and Sailor V could change the dynamic. So, I mean, definitely. I love the voice for Artemis. Me too. He's very cool. Yeah. Like, I want to be his buddy. Yeah. He seems very stern. Like, the way he was kind of scolding Usagi, and he was like, how rude. You're talking to the princess, Right. Yeah, he definitely has an authoritative. Oh, yeah. And it's less playful than Luna, where she's kind of like, come on. She's like, oh, me. But Artemis would be like, no. Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? Exactly. Not cool. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about him. I want him to be like a Japanese DJ, radio DJ or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I really enjoyed his voice. So Kunzite is Kunzite, is that pronounced right? Excited that he can finally help, and summons V to the Tokyo Tower, or else, gonna kill all of Tokyo. That's insane. What a crazy condition. But kind of a heavy threat right out the bat. They're pretty extreme. I mean, they take energy from large amounts of people. They obviously don't care. They don't care. I kind of feel, I mean, maybe they were calling her bluff, but because it seemed like they were only taking energy at that point. Yeah. People were just passed out. But, yeah, they got cuckoo, or they, their souls were drained, but they were still alive. They were never like
on the edge of death here.
Yeah.
This seems like the most extreme. And like citywide, like, Lord.
That's crazy.
Not even like a district. It's going for the whole city, huh?
Not even one zip code.
Come on, buddy. I'm sure she would have come either way.
She would have.
Could have threatened a pet shelter and she would have been there, you know? Would have been fine. So anyways, yeah, show up to Tokyo Tower with the crystal, important part, or everybody's going to get killed. So she, of course, doesn't even hesitate.
No.
She's just going. And she's not bringing the crystal, but she is headed to Tokyo Tower, and she's going to handle the biz. And on her way there, so I would think that she would at least think, like, guys, be hanging out for backup. But again, she's used to the solo thing, and she thinks she can handle it. But I don't know. The fact that she's on her way, but within seconds, she runs into all four of them. And they're like, hey, let's go do dinner. We want to go hang out and whatever. She basically says she has to go wash her hair. You know, like she has errands to do. Yeah. She has not given them the time. They're right there. She doesn't even mention it.
She doesn't seem like she wants their help. Not necessarily not wants their help, but she doesn't, like I said before, I mean, it's kind of like she trusts herself to take care of things. Whether or not she really wants a team to work with or something, it's just what she's used to. Yeah. So she's not going to be like putting them in danger as well. I mean,
I just thought that, you know, it's one thing to like not call your buds. Yeah. You know, sometimes you don't want to get on the phone. Yeah. It's fine. But when you run into them at a bar, you don't go hang out in the bar by yourself. Yeah. So I was just surprised. But anyways, and even Artemis is like, what? Come back here. What are you doing? Again, he's not having it. He's basically a cat not having it this whole episode.
I also thought it was sweet that you know, they were trying to not only get to know her as a Sailor Guardian, but to also be friends with her outside of that world. Yeah. And it just didn't happen. They got shut down. I mean, it'll happen eventually, I'm sure, but
yeah, I mean, they're going to have some moments hopefully, but it is kind of, I do like the quote unquote real world side of all the Sailor Scouts.
Which we don't see too much of outside of school and the arcade and whatnot.
But moments like, I think it was last episode where Sailor Moon has or Usagi has the ketchup on her nose.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they're just like, you know, and she's getting so upset about
that's
it.
So sweet.
I think it was really cute.
Those are cute interactions.
And that's when we realized he had her handkerchief. Yeah. Of which, you know, so I don't know. I like those little personality moments that we get of them hanging out. And this was another good one where they're like, whatever.
I know.
Why aren't you hanging out with us?
Princess. I just also want to say, I thought it was weird they were calling her princess in public.
Not good secret keepers.
I mean, out loud, in public. I mean, and they called her Minako when they were dressed as Sailor Guardians. And it was just switched. It was very strange.
They're not the best on quick thinking when it comes to that kind of stuff. But either way, so she is already en route. I don't know what kind of time limit Kanzai was thinking whether he was going to give Sailor V.
Yeah, he didn't specify.
But it was short. Yeah. Because she's hoofing it to the thing. She's right by the tower in the first place, really. Mm-hmm. She doesn't even get 20 jogs in worth of running, and he already blacks out the city. Ugh. He's like, you don't think I'm serious, do you?
Yeah.
Lights out. And energy drained. Also
wasting no time.
I mean, he gets it done. He don't play.
No.
They were all, everybody else had like a subplot. Yeah. You know, when they come and like, I'm going to in the jewelry. Yes, everyone will buy jewelry, and they'll get possessed. He's just like,
it was like out in the open. I'm cutting the crap. Like, we're doing this. Yep. And then we get her awesome transformation sequence. Yeah. I thought it was so pretty. I thought of rainbow dancers. Remember those when we were kids? Yeah. The commercial with the rainbow dancers in your hand. They just kind of swirl around. That's what I thought of. It was really cute. It was good. Beautiful.
I still think, I don't know. I think Ray is still my favorite.
Yeah.
Transformation, like initial transformation. They all get like little variations of it, I feel. So it comes and goes. But her like introduction transformation,
on point.
So good. That was so my favorite.
It was very clean and pretty.
Yeah. So, but no, this one was good too. And so citywide blackout. Everybody in Tokyo has their energy drained, and yeah, the V transformation. Yeah, but V, come on now. This ain't no video game. Mm-hmm. He just knocks her out. I mean, he basically one shot, and you know, let the girls have. You know, just you got like so many things you can communicate on.
Yeah, I mean, luckily they showed up when they did.
Yeah, Although, ultimately, so basically the battle starts out and nobody's powers are really working on him. I mean, it's they all try it individually, but so Sailor Moon gets knocked off the building, essentially.
Yeah.
And she's gonna plummet to her death, and then guess who gets to come in and redeem himself?
Tuxedo Mask.
Finally.
He decides that he needs to try his hand again at saving her. And he does this time.
He's pretty good. I gotta say that success rate, we're at a solid 98%. So he needs to stop being so down on himself.
But yeah, she was like passed out in his arms for a second, and then he brings her up onto the top of the building. And all of a sudden she's back up and her energy is skyrocketing.
Oh, well, before that, they do have a moment and they finally smooch.
Yes.
Well, they finally smooch while she's conscious.
It's about time that she remembers this.
Yeah. I still can't figure out, his flirting is very borderline Creepyville.
A little, yeah.
Because last
I have to
episode,
agree.
she was like leaving, I don't know if you remember, and he like put his bag on her head. You remember that? Just like right in between the buns. And he's like, hey, what you doing? And I was like, what kind of flirting?
I would have been like, what? Get this off my head.
Very odd. I already have a lot going on up there.
Yeah.
Don't put your bag on me.
So
Anyway,
funny.
so it's just like a weird thing with him.
This time it was normal.
This time it was normal. It was actually kind of romantic. He saves her and they smooch, and then she's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
My powers are skyrocketing.
That's true. It was a kiss of life. And he was very taken aback by it. You could see it on his face.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's not used to kissing women who are awake. So,
or is this the first time she actually initiated it? I mean,
this was her. Yeah, this was her first time kind of going for it, and he kind of gives her a speech. No, he doesn't give her a speech, but we hear a speech, inner monologue of I see so many different sides.
Yeah.
Of Sailor Moon. Like, this is a whole new.
Like, what kind of girl are you really?
Yeah, she's so powerful today.
Yeah.
But I've seen her like ball over ketchup on her nose.
She's really grown. It's awesome to see that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think this is the first episode where she kind of really felt like the leader of the group.
Yeah.
Even though Sailor V kind of comes in and kind of claims that she's the main dog.
Yeah.
This is the first time that we see her step up and not be. She doesn't really have any baby moments this episode.
It's true. Yeah, that's why I felt like it was a really mature episode for her, especially.
Yeah, it's really nice to see, and you just forget that she can be that person. I guess kind of like Tuxedo Mask. I was like,
yeah,
get it, girl. All right, you go ahead. So a lot of phases of the moon, basically, is what he says, and then, I mean, she kind of saves the whole scenario, and that's it. I mean, it ends in kind of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly.
As to what's going on
after he interferes between the Kunzite blast.
Yeah, he jumps up, so she goes up there to make it, to handle the business, and it doesn't happen the way that she thinks it's going to. He does the biggest jump I've ever seen, which explains why he can swoop in, because he's just very Spider-Man-like.
Cape is very powerful.
I guess so. And then he gets a blast to the face. As far as we know, it looks bad for him.
It looks pretty bad.
But oddly, the trailer for the next episode pretty much dispels the whole cliffhanger, but that's fine. That's
okay. It was more of a moment for him to, like you said before, redeem himself.
Yeah.
And
2 times in a row.
After that, exactly. But after that, how can he tell himself that he didn't try to save her or save her at all?
Yeah.
So
no more moped in Tuxedo Mask. So let's I guess we talk about rumors and.
Yeah, I just wanted to add also, this episode was a really good development episode for Sailor V, for this character.
Yes.
It was nicely paced. I mean, in the other ones, like, we get to know all the other Guardians characters, pretty quickly on, and then it kind of just goes, and then we meet Sailor V, and then we don't have episodes to get to know her. We have this one episode.
And she's already with it.
Exactly. Like, we already know how her attitude is, how she feels towards things. And another thing I want to add was, I told you this earlier, but the one scene that drove me nuts was when Mars, Mercury, and Jupiter were giving this little beautiful speech to Venus, and they were like, we were all alone until we met Usagi, and then we all became friends, all while Kunzite is standing behind them. He could blast at any moment.
Presumably twiddling his thumbs, waiting for this.
Yeah, and I'm just like, girls, turn around. This is no time for sentiment.
I agree with you. Timing, not the best.
Yeah.
But it was really nice to hear them. They hadn't, they've had moments of blushing or something. They've had these very small character notes of being appreciative about her bringing them together. But for the most part, they're like, we don't know you, and then instantly, I'm dedicated to you.
Yeah.
It's very much a quick shift, and that's it. So to me, it was another, again, with the Sailor Moon being a leader, it was another moment inside of this episode where you kind of thought, wow, like, she is doing something. And she really, that is her power. Like, she does break through people's walls and makes them feel instantly comfortable. So
that's true.
That is really nice.
What they said is true. They all came together because of Usagi-chan.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for her persisting or stalking Jupiter,
basically stalking,
or stalking Mars
like
and being
Women
on
Crush
the bus
Wednesday.
because she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
if it weren't for that, they wouldn't be as close as they are.
Yeah.
It's just going to take a little more time for Minako to kind of acclimate to the group.
Right.
So,
yeah. But the timing on talking about the
that was
issue.
so funny. I was like, turn around. Stop. He might be vulnerable now.
Yeah. Maybe you should focus. You'll probably get lunch together later. You can talk about it then.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Whatevs.
Yeah.
So it looks like for next episode, that memory seal, donezo.
Yeah, they're all going to get a taste of what they used to know.
Yeah.
Their past lives.
Yeah. You thought you got an information download this episode.
Yeah.
Your whole past is about to come and remind yourself of yourself.
I know.
So that'll be interesting. And I mean, they kind of hint at who the real princess is.
Right.
And I guess that's going to be revealed next episode. I thought they might tease that out a little bit longer.
I thought so too. I thought they would kind of play that little plot point.
Yeah. Like, I know they're getting their memories back, but maybe that one wouldn't be quite, but I don't know. I don't know, but apparently it is.
Yeah.
They're gonna figure it out on the next episode. And I never really put it together before. Maybe I just wasn't thinking about it, but I guess this is her being Princess Serenity is why her name was Serena.
Yeah.
In the American one. Duh. Just never thought about it. Anyways.
Now you know.
Now you know. So it was a fun episode.
It was good, and I like how at the end it was finally realized by Minako that she can actually work with this team, and that they're actually going to do her more good than anything else. It's as much as she likes to be alone, it's going to be more beneficial for her, and she realizes it to be with this team.
Yeah, I dug it, and yep, that's pretty much does it. Oh, by the way, I was researching. I'm going to Japan in a few months.
What?
I was researching just random stuff, and a Sailor Moon cafe popped up. There's a Sailor Moon cafe in Osaka.
That is so cool.
I've got to go.
You have to go.
I know.
Take pictures, send it over, and then we'll put it up.
Yeah, if anybody's ever been, let us know, because I'm very curious.
Yeah. That's cool.
But put yourself over.
Well, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ajouri. That's Jajouri. On the Sunday night Walking Dead podcast,
nice.
On the Monday night Gotham podcast, and Tuesday night Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast.
You busy, girl.
Busy night.
Lord. You can find me at The Walking Dale on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me doing other AfterBuzz shows here. I do Total Divas and Raw. So check them out if you like wrestling.
Do it to it.
All right, thanks you guys, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.